Hi everybody, it's Prof. Jen, and I want to talk about semicolons. Okay, I've got some sentences here. We're going to take a look at them. First of all, let's go over the meaning. Semicolons are powerful pieces of punctuation. They separate two complete sentences that are related to one another, and that's the key. By using a semicolon, you strengthen the ideas of both those sentences by showing they're connected to one another. Okay? Semicolons can be thought of like glue between two ideas. Use them to illustrate that a concept you're writing about isn't simple. They make complex ideas come to life. So semicolons take the first sentence, and instead of using a period at the end of that sentence, you're going to put a semicolon to lead the reader that says, hey, I'm not done talking about this idea yet. There's more to come, and here's the second complete sentence all about it, okay? Let me show you in this example of text where you could replace a period with a semicolon and actually strengthen the meaning. First of all, you have to have two complete sentences. So what's on each side of the semicolon must be a complete sentence. It must have a subject and a verb. Each of these sentences are complete sentences. They all have a subject and a verb. Okay? Semicolons are powerful pieces of punctuation. They separate two complete sentences that are related to one another. Now, I want this period here because I want you to stop at the end of it and really sink in that they're powerful pieces of punctuation. All right? They separate two complete sentences that are related to one another. By using a semicolon, you strengthen the ideas by showing they're connected to one another. Now, this sentence right here is a longish sentence. It starts with this dependent clause by using a semicolon. So by setting it up with that preposition by, right, and then putting a comma right here, I'm leading you to my main point. I don't want to confuse that issue right now by inserting a semicolon before it, so I'm not going to put one here. However, right here, what you're going to see, let me just make sure that I float on top here when I show this. Right here, semicolons can be thought of like glue between two ideas. Use them to illustrate that a concept you're writing isn't simple, all right? I'm going to vote to change this piece of punctuation, this period, to a semicolon, which means I have to drop the casing on this. So they can be thought of like glue, and you can use them to illustrate that a concept you're writing about isn't simple, right? So that's one use of it. They make complex ideas come to life, all right? So that is one way where you can insert a semicolon instead of a period. However, I think there's a better place. So I'm going to change this back to a period, and I'm going to uppercase this. And I'm going to say instead of they here, because I want to make sure you know semicolons is what I'm talking about. That's what that pronoun's referring to. Semicolons make complex ideas come to life. Now watch this. I'm going to grab that text. I'm going to put a semicolon in right there, and I'm going to paste that text in. Semicolons make complex ideas come to life. Semicolon. That says I'm not quite done delivering this message to you. Keep reading for more good stuff. Use them to illustrate that a concept you're writing about isn't simple. Or use them to illustrate that a concept you're writing about has complexity. That's a better way of saying it. So you can see by editing, this now becomes a single sentence, right? Because I only have one period. It's punctuated, however, as two complete sentences glued together with this semicolon, and it actually strengthens what the reader gets into their brain. So that's how you use a semicolon, all right? If you have a complex idea, you have one complete sentence and then another complete sentence about it, and they're about the same thing, try putting a semicolon instead of a period between those two and capitalizing it correctly, meaning you've got to drop this to a lowercase right after the semicolon, right? And that's one way to think about using a semicolon. All right. Fantastic work. I hope this is helpful. Semicolons do have a second use, but I'll cover that in a later video. Nice work, everybody.